What do we do about Ibrahim Konate? He's got 1 year left on his deal. Rumors are Real Madrid and PSG want to sign him. And what else do we do regarding the rest of the defense? Sit back, relax, Team Kopish. Let's get into this, people.
Shout out to Kop-Ish.
Shout out to Kopish, guys.
All the good work
the
up.
two legends, Emil Heskey, Howard Gill. Can't get much better than that guy. Yeah. You know what to do now. Like, comment, subscribe. I'm with legends, guys.
Kop-Ish.
Yes, people, welcome back to Team Kopish. Know what time it is. And people, before we even say anything, or before I say anything, I want you guys to like the video, you get what I'm saying, and make sure you subscribe to Team Kopish. We are trying to get to 40k before the season begins. We would really appreciate that if you could do that for us, people, you know what I'm saying? So make sure you do that. But listen, guys, listen, it's a great time to be a Liverpool fan, but there's a few things that we need to address. And one of those things is Ibrahim Konate. He has 1 year left on his deal. Real Madrid look like they want to try and get him for free. Paris Saint-Germain have always been lurking. Obviously, Ibu is from Paris. I'll start with you first. I'm just going to rip the Band-Aid off, bro. What do we do regarding Konate, bro? He's got a year left.
We have to, obviously, the priority is to try and re-sign him to a new contract. Now, the talk was that he wanted to be on par with some of the other leading defenders across Europe, which is around the 200k mark, right?
Yeah.
I'm good with giving Konate that amount. But rumors and reports came out that he also changed his stance on that and wants to have more than some other players in Europe. The maximum I'd go for Konate is maybe 240. I know it sounds like a lot, but the maximum I'd go for Konate is 240.
Yeah, okay.
Now, if Konate wants anything more than that, then I'd understand the club saying no to that. The thing is, though, if you're saying no to that, there's two problems that arise. One, who do you go and get to replace Konate? And two, can you sell him this summer as opposed to losing him on a free next summer? Because if you're selling him this summer, the other question becomes, does he want to leave this summer? Because if Real Madrid aren't willing to put up the money and he only wants to go to Real Madrid, then is he going to want to go somewhere else? And can we sell him somewhere else? That's where I think the issue is.
I hear that. So, Jeff, let me come to you then. So, in regards to Ibu, firstly, would you keep him now? And if so, what wages are you willing to offer him? Or do you sell him now? And who's the replacement going to be?
I think Cal hit the nail on the head, though. If he wants to go for free, there's nothing we can do about it. So that becomes a potential problem depending on what his attitude's like. I don't really think he's like that, so I don't get too worried about that. But you never know, innit, when somebody wants what they want or when they want to get their own way. So, yeah, it's a tough one because he ain't going to leave. If Real Madrid or PSG say, wait a year and we'll get you for free, he's not going to go anywhere. But then in the World Cup year, is he willing to do the whole hold the bench thing? Because maybe the club would have to be kind of like raggo about it. But then the club wouldn't, though, would they? Because you can win a league with him, and without him, maybe you won't. So they'd probably prioritize winning. So we'd probably just end up in a Trent situation without even having anything. Like, we wouldn't be able to do anything about it. We'd just have a Trent situation. Got to play you, but we're going to lose you for free. We're going to be annoyed at the end of the season. I'd be annoyed with Ibu, nowhere near as much as I am with Trent, because it's a bit different.
Yeah.
I would be annoyed if Ibu just played out and left for free. Like, that would ruin his legacy a little bit as well. But what else can we do, really?
All right, so I've listened to both what you both said. You're both in agreement. Here's where I'm at with it, yeah. So I don't know whether he's purposely waiting for Real Madrid. I don't know whether it's him just waiting to see whether he can come to a compromise with the club. But one thing that puts us in a very difficult position is, let's say that we said, all right, you know, cool. Ibu, you want to go? Do we sell him there and then, or do we try and win a league and a Champions League with him, and then you get the replacement in next year? Me personally, I know maybe it's because I am biased. I'm gonna say you keep him for that year and you try and win a Prem and a Champions League, and then he leaves for free. Because if you sell him before then, let's just say we even agree to sell him to Paris Saint-Germain or Real Madrid, yeah. I don't know who that replacement is. I don't know where that replacement is that makes me go, do you know what? If we get that player, we are still winning the league. We are still winning we can win the Champions League. Like, guys, I'm struggling. Like, maybe you guys have names that I haven't thought of yet. The only defender that I've even named as of late, I remember saying this Cal not too long ago, was Diamande from Sporting. That's the only defender. Like, I don't see Bastoni walking through the door personally. Slotterbeck's done is it ACL or MCL? I believe.
Yeah, MCO.
Like, where are these defenders that we're supposed to get to replace Ibra? Not only that, we were supposed to get Hoyson. We were supposed to complement the two defenders. He's gone Real Madrid. So you guys help me out here because I don't want to crash out. But like,
There ain't no one. That's why what Cal said earlier is so spot on. I'll be honest, Cal. I know it's gonna sound crazy, but I give him 300 if that's what it took to keep him. I know he don't deserve that, but I think you're gonna struggle more to find a replacement than it is to just deal with the fact you're overpaying him. Like, honestly, like, he's 25, 26. You tie him down now, you got the future secured for the next 4 or 5 years. If you lose him, Matt, there's no one. I'll be honest with you. I'm not even trying to make it out like if he's like the best ever or the best in the world or whatever, because I think a lot of it is down to there's a shortage of good defenders, period. I just think football's in the mud, period, if I'm being honest. I think there's about 50 players scattered around goalkeeper, midfield, forward, all that. That's like real top quality. And I think everyone else is so basic compared to what I'm used to with a lifetime of watching football. There's no good defenders out there. There just isn't. I don't even think Bastoni works because he's left-sided. Like, Virgil's capable, but at this age, I wouldn't move Virgil right side for the rest of his career. So I wouldn't even buy Bastoni. And like, can he play in the back four? He's used to a back three. The Italian league's different to the. I don't even know that's a guarantee. He's just quality. But we don't even know that actually works. Bro, there's no one. There's no one. I can't think of anyone.
Yeah, I don't know who we go out and buy. I was saying to you, Matt, Diamande, I think is someone who could replicate what Konate is doing, potentially even do it better, but not yet. It would be 2-3 years time from now, in my opinion.
yeah,
Schlotterbeck for me would have been someone I'd bring in as second/third choice to compete with Konate and Virgil as opposed to replace Konate. I think Bissek at Inter Milan's a good player, but again, he's at Inter. I don't know if you get him out of Inter. Bastoni, I don't know if he wants to leave it now. I do disagree though, Drift. I think he'd be fine in the Prem. I think as a defender, he knows what to do. So I think he'd be fine. But there is that question mark about can he play in the back three or back two in terms of centre backs. I think he can, but again, the jury's out there and rightly so. But then again, I don't know if you get him out.
Centre back, bro.
I don't think Virgil would have an issue with that because, and not even to be snaky, Trent's not there now. We got two players who are good to defend, like they're happy to defend. So.
I think he's capable. I just don't think it'll be fair on him at 34 years old or 33 years old for him to have to all of a sudden change what his role's been in the team for 7 years. Do you get what I mean? Like, that would be quite a lot.
I don't think it'll be that big of a change for him. I think Virgil's
left and right centre back seems to be a big. I don't know why. I'm not a defender, but it seems to be a big difference.
I think the reason why he likes playing left centre back is because he can play those diagonal balls to the right hand side. But if he was on the right hand side, he can play those diagonal balls to the left hand side. So I don't think it'd be a big thing. And obviously, if you're away, if you're facing the goal, if you're a right footer playing on the left hand side, then you're playing on your strong side to go back to goal if you need to as well. I genuinely think Virgil will be fine because he's so good with his left foot. I think he'll be absolutely fine.
I just thought I could just bring up like a quick comparison of there and B. I know it's not the what's the other one with your scorecard? That's a bit more in depth.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to just like a quick little overview. So looking at all the defenders, passes, Diamande makes the most. And again, obviously we have to factor in the league that he plays in as well. But at least we can kind of get a better understanding. does play a lot of passes, and not only that, he's got very good pass completion. Virgil is very, very close. Konate is actually quite further back at 78% when you consider 95 for Virgil and 96 for Diomande. And I remember people were saying to me from before that Diomande is very, very good with the ball at his feet. Like he's a ball playing centre back, but very aggressive. In terms of what's that message that I can't see? Progressive passes. Well, this is where it gets slightly different because Virgil and Konate play way more progressive passing. So even though Diamande is a good passer, if we're talking about from a progression level, Konate and VVD are like leaps and bounds clear. Defensive actions, this is what is kind of hard to kind of calculate. You could just look at it and just say Ibu's busy because Trent was always asleep, right? You could just say Trent made Ibu do more work because look, defensive actions even for Virgil isn't even like that high. It's at 16. But then Diamande at 3.2 is a bit worrying. It's like, does this man like just don't defend, which I'm sure he does. So there's a misconception there, in my opinion. The way it gets interesting now, defensive duels, percentage, who wins their defensive duels? Virgil at 90.3% is insane. Then Ibu at 64.3, then Diamande at 56.9. Now, this is where I'm really shocked. But again, you've got to take it with a pinch of salt because the leagues, and I don't know how dangerous the Portuguese league, are they tall strikers? Are they very aggressive? But Diamande is actually only second to Virgil. Virgil at 98.4, Diamande at 96.6, and then Konate at 79%. And then progressive carries, again, Ibu likes to bring the ball up more so than what I think people could give him credit for at 79.7. Then it's Virgil and then Diamande. So just from going off this metric, I know it's kind of hard to kind of get a real like deeper understanding, guys, of Diamande. But do you think though that his playing style, maybe a little bit from what you can see, he would suit the Prem, or do you think there's not enough data to kind of show that?
I think he does. I think he suits the Prem. I think Diamande would be, if we were to sign Diamande this summer, I'd be over the moon if we kept Konate. If we kept Konate and signed Diamande, for me, that's perfect because you've got Konate and Diamande as the two right-sided centre-backs, but Diamande can cover left push as well. And then for me, it means if you're able to keep Gomez and Kwanzaa for one season, you've got 5 centre-backs. If one of them goes, then they've been replaced already. For me, Schlotterbeck, you still go and you see how he comes back from his injury. You still try and get him next summer or January if you can. But getting Diamande and Schlotterbeck as the backups for Virgil and Konate would be incredible.
Yeah, and we have to remember we've only literally got a 2-year window. Like obviously we understand Virgil's going to be gone in 2 years. I don't even want to think about it, but it's going to happen, and there needs to be a succession plan in place. Drift, let me ask you: is there anybody that you can think of maybe that we might have missed out? Who Liverpool been linked? Actually, do you know what? As I'm talking to you, was we linked with Mark Gahey or my guy Mad?
Everyone's kind of been loosely linked with him, but no one's really had a concrete situation with him.
Has he got a year left on his deal?
I think so. I think he's got a year left. I mean, you've got the left side.
I just spelled Gahey, so I'm going mad.
G.
Is it G U H?
No, Geuhi.
That's it.
No.
G. Was it G what?
Geuhi, I believe.
GEU. That's it. Yeah.
Or if not, GUE then. H. Yeah, the
there it is. We got there, chat. We got there. Apologies.
I mean, what this does show me is how bloody good Virgil is. Flip here now. This is just a statistical backup to what we already knew.
He's a unicorn. He's a unicorn. He's 33 years of age, and look at the metrics. And believe it or not, Diamande is actually still only 21. So again, Diamande at 21 with them kind of stats is impressive.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, you go look at Palace now. See, this is why I knew.
I think with Gahey as well. I know obviously everyone's built different, and you shouldn't just judge it off that. Gahey is a short centre back.
He is. I know.
Teams attack us a lot in the air because it's very hard to play through our press, and it's very hard to outplay us on the ground. So teams will go long. Hence why Virgil and Ibu are so valuable to the Liverpool system. Hence why I think Diamande would fit so well. Schlotterbeck would fit so well because they're all so good in the air.
Yeah, Diamande 6'3", if I'm not mistaken, I believe.
Gahey could get bullied in the air. Like I hate to use someone like an example, but if it's someone like a flipping better at Everton, I think could potentially bully Gahey, given the tactics and how we'd want to play and everything. And I don't want that.
I've never seen him be bullied though. Anytime I've seen him play, so I don't know.
How many teams implement a style like that against Crystal Palace?
No, but I just mean generally speaking, that even when he played for England, I don't really see him ever get bullied or pushed around. Like he can hold his own.
Yeah, I suppose.
If you look at Gahey from a statistical point of view, 4 passes. I mean, you have to factor in again the team that he plays for. But again, Palace were a little bit more expansive this year, and not only that, listen, they won the cup.
Yeah,
Palace won the FA Cup. I know Mong there to defend at large parts, but I mean, 4 passes, 44 is very low. Progressive passes, though, he does make progressive passing. He's actually the highest on the list. Defensive actions, again, him being at the highest, you could maybe understand that he has way more work to do. Teams are more likely to attack Palace than they are Liverpool and Sporting. Sporting, one of the obviously top teams in Portugal. They've won the league now, if I'm not mistaken, back to back. Victor Gyökeres is going crazy. Defensive duels, though, this is where it gets a little bit iffy for Gahey. 34% is low.
He doesn't get many defensive duels though, Matt, because they're in a low block counter-attacking a lot of the time. So when would he ever really get into that one-on-one type duels? You know what I mean? It's not really what he has to do.
I disagree, Drift. There's times when I've seen him backs against the wall, and as much as Gahey, I think, can hold his own, there are times when I looked at him, I thought, he's a bit too shaky for me at times. Personally.
I don't really ever see him one-on-one because of the way Crystal Palace plays, so I just think it's why it's low. Because look how good the progressive passing is. The progressive passing is that good because they're a counter-attacking side. So a lot of the time, his passes are getting the team up the field. Do you get what I'm saying? That's why he's got the highest.
In my opinion, his defensive duels should actually be inflated, because if you're gonna say he's not doing as many, and he only gets a few and he wins the majority of them, that should actually be inflated. The fact that it's low is actually kind of concerning.
No, that he wins the most of them. I just don't think he has many.
No, but even if you don't have many, but you still win more than what you lose, that number realistically should be inflated. Because remember, they play a back three of Lacroix, him, and who's the other person? Who's the other Palace defender? Anderson.
No, Anderson's at Fulham.
No, Anderson.
Oh, left. He went left. He left in it. Who's the other? There's someone else in it.
Is it Richards?
Is it Richards?
No, Richard plays with. Yeah, there is someone else. I can't. The name.
Yeah.
The name eludes me at the moment, but there is someone.
And then in the air as well, 31% compared to the others. I mean, again, like the winning percentage is not good. Like, and again, I don't know whether that's just because teams don't attack Palace in the air. But what I'm saying is, even if you don't attack somebody in the air and you've only got to do with some of them, that still means you're losing more than you're winning.
Yeah.
So that kind of does go to show you, in my opinion, that he's not very good. He's not the greatest in the air. He might not be terrible, but he's not the greatest. He's not. You wouldn't look at that and go, "That's a standout." Whereas you look at Ibu and you look at Virgil. Yeah, you look at, because you see like Ibu and Virgil, even like Gabriel. I'm not going to put Saliba in there. I think Saliba's kind of median here. I think he's very average. Saliba's very average in the air.
Yeah, Saliba's not good in the air.
Yeah. I'd even say Ruben Diaz is actually pretty good in the air. Akanji's decent. He's okay. Stones is okay.
So, someone like Murillo would be a good judge of thingy, because he's someone who I think is good in the air.
Murillo. Let's have a quick look at Murillo.
I don't know if he's that great in the air. I think Milenkovic is the one who is out of the two.
I mean, that's not 71% is not bad though. That's pretty good.
Murillo's good in the air, I think.
Yeah, that's only. I think he's third on the list. Fourth?
I think they're around the same height as well.
Around same height? Who? Sorry.
I think Murillo and thinking about the same height.
And Gahey in it, yeah. That's what I'm seeing. Murillo. And if you look at Murillo again, passing is low. I mean, I don't know why, but 4 passes doesn't make many, but he does make more progressive. And that's again, progressive passing just means literally just play the ball forward and it's seen as the.
No, but again, bro, it's because there's another counter-attack inside. That's why a lot of these centre backs will have high progression, because it will be their role to get the counter-attack started. which Morello probably does do a lot at Newcastle because again, counter-attacking team.
But but even if you look at the passing, just in general, he's actually got that. I've never seen passing that low on a defender. If I'm being honest with you,
It is
I
low.
almost feel like it's a mistake.
It is low, but I guess it's because their fullbacks do a lot of the passing, maybe.
Defensive actions always busy. It seems like he's the busiest defender on the list. Defensive duels, though, percentage-wise, winning them only 27.3%. That's actually the lowest out of everybody. It's lower than Gahey, it's lower than Konate, lower than Virgil, and lower
I
than
don't think it's
Diomande.
a coincidence, though, bro. The two teams who've got the lowest defensive actions are the two teams that are counter-attacking teams.
No,
Like,
they've
maybe
got the
that does
highest
have something
defensive
to do.
actions drift.
I'm sorry, the duels, sorry. I'm just thinking maybe it's again because they don't really get into many one-on-one duels. And I do get what you mean. If you got low and you don't get in many, does it mean you're even worse? But at the same time, it means you don't have enough to build up as well. So it's a tough one.
Yeah. Guys, I'll be real. I think Kyle, you made a valid point. In terms of Murillo, I don't know whether Liverpool go and get, or was it you that said that, Drew? Sorry, you said don't know whether Liverpool if they want to get centre back, if he was going to be a left-sided centre back, because they're now asking Virgil to play on the right-hand side, and it's Virgil's last 2 years. Does he want to be doing that for the last 2 years? Is he just comfortable now playing there? We don't know. You look at Diomande, 21 years of age. Probably is ready for the next step up, but again, is he just going to settle into the Prem set? Is there going to be an adaptation period that could be not too shabby, but be shabby enough that it affects us in a title race? That's I think it's Konate conundrum is actually really serious. Like it has to get sorted one way or another.
Well, I mean, I'll try and put a positive on it. I think he signs.
You think he signs?
Yeah, I think he signs. He loves Liverpool. He does. He loves us. He just wants to be paid what he's worth. He's been on 70 grand for 5 years. I just think he wants to get paid what he's worth. I think he signs. I don't think he wants to leave. Only, maybe I'm being biased. Only a fool leaves this Liverpool team. I honestly, only a fool.
No, of course.
Apart from PSG and potentially Real Madrid, I don't see anywhere that seems as attractive as playing for Liverpool right now. I just don't. So.
Yeah.
Only a fool leaves. I think he stays.
What about you, Carl? Does he
I
stay?
don't know.
Does he
I'm
go?
50-50. I agree with what Drift's saying in terms of if you leave Liverpool now, you are an idiot. At the same time, though, people, especially footballers, they have pride in it. If they feel they're being undervalued and feel they can get that value elsewhere, I think they will look and try and do that, especially if the options on the table are PSG and Real Madrid. Which, if we're going to be honest, they're sideways steps. Like, as of right now, maybe apart from PSG, you wouldn't say you can go to a club that's better than Liverpool right now today. In terms of prestige and glamour and success, Real Madrid are above everyone, innit? So you could argue, but in terms of what they are today, they're a sideways step, innit? PSG are another sideways step. So he's not going down a level. He's just going to he's just moving from here to here, as opposed to.
So what you're saying is, if he's leaving, it's not like he's leaving. Like, let's say if he goes PSG, he's basically saying he would have stayed at Liverpool, but you're not paying me what I'm
so I can
deserved.
go PSG and still be comfy because I'm going to be competing for league titles, competing for the cups, and then competing for the Champions League. And they've shown they can do that. With Konate there, they've got an even better chance of doing that. You'd arguably say if Konate goes there, they become the favourites for the Champions League again. Because we'd be losing Konate.
Yeah, no, you're right.
I don't think PSG will stand still this summer. I still think they'll probably go and get a striker as well.
Even if they don't get a striker, they're still.
I don't think they will. You know, I didn't realize Ramos got a really bad injury at the beginning of the season. It's kind of what phased him out.
I didn't even know that.
He's 22. I think they'll give him a chance. I actually don't think they're actually.
They might do, but let's say they only get Ibu, and they could look at someone like no, maybe not Ekitike because he was there before.
Who's to
say they can't look at a Gyökeres?
Maybe.
There's nothing stopping them.
An Osimhen. They could even look at Osimhen.
I could see that, you know, potentially.
He's played there already. He's played in
Oh,
France already.
however, Luis Enrique, you see the way how PSG play, the interchanging of the front three
Yeah.
is very fluid. I feel like if you get a target man, you're kind of changing that. However, we should not bet against Enrique because I don't know where PSG were in people's minds at the start of the season in terms of them winning the Champions League. I think maybe when Dembele's form kicked on in January, that's when people really start to take notice,
And
isn't it?
Kvara as well. They signed Kvara
And
as well.
they signed Craver, who for me was a game. If we're being honest, Craver was one of the most game changing signings of last year. Because as good as PSG are, I don't know whether they win the Champions League without Craver. Because even though you've got Doué only started cooking again. I want to say halfway through the season because it was Barcola.
I'd say more started cooking from around February, March time, do it?
Yeah. So, but you're right. If they get Konate, that now means they've got Pacho, Konate, Marquinhos. Marquinhos get a little bit older, so that means they have Pacho and Konate
and Beraldo. So
and
yeah, so Konate and Pacho would be the starters.
I'm not gonna lie.
With all due respect to Marquinhos, legendary career,
Yeah.
Konate is better than Marquinhos.
Yeah, he is.
So they've improved their starting 11, which was already fantastic.
Yeah.
Unless they go for one of the two strikers that allow them to remain fluid, which is the two strikers we want. Alvarez and Isak slot straight into that PSG team, and you don't have to change shit.
Yeah, especially if Alvarez got.
Yeah.
I think Alvarez is a
you ain't
better
got to
fit.
change nothing if they got one of those.
I
two.
just hope that PSG don't wake up and think, you know what, we can improve our front line, even though we've got an amazing front line. Do you know what I mean? Like, because if they do,
it's why we have to get Isak this summer because he'll either go to Barcelona or PSG next year if we don't.
Yeah.
Oh, let's spoil that. Don't say too much. We're gonna speak. We're gonna speak about that. No, but yeah.
I think he stays. So
I'm 50-50 if I'm going to be honest. I genuinely don't know because I worry about whether we'd go past a certain point for him and if he'd be willing to accept that. I do agree that he loves the club, but I also think he understands and knows his value and knows that the centre-back market out there, the players aren't silly. If we can see this as fans and people who do content, players will sit there and go, my name's Konate, like I'm top 5, top 6 in the world, so I should be paid accordingly. Like, as of right now, today, I'm top 5, top 6 in the world. If I'm not going to get that at Liverpool, I'm going to go Real Madrid or PSG and get that. And can't really knock him for that. We can sit here as fans and go, oh, you should only get paid a certain amount, or you should be an honour and privilege to pay for Liverpool. And yeah, those things are both true. But that's not the world we live in with football now. Like, players have the power now. And we've just seen it with Trent. Like, if you aren't getting what you want or you want something new, you can get it. It's very rare that a footballer doesn't get what they want now. So we either have to change the narrative or give him what he wants at Liverpool. And that might be a fat contract, as Drift said. We might not like it. We might not want to do it. But the question becomes, who do you go? Look, we said this about Salah and Virgil. If we lost Salah and Virgil, who do we go and get to replace them? So, yeah, we might have to go. Yeah, it's got to be 400k then, isn't it?
Ibby's 26 years of age.
I'll be years.
Yeah, I'll be shocked though if he's not asking between 200 and 250.
Just give him it, man. Just give him it.
But I think we should just give it because at the end of the day, whoever you bring in, all right, because this is what will keep happening. Let's say he leaves for free. That's crazy because again, you don't even get full value. You don't even get the money back that you.
You get full value if we win the league and Champions League next season.
That's true. So let's say that we do win everything, but he leaves for free. You go and buy a Diamande for let's say 40 mil, 50 mil. Yeah, probably what it's gonna take. Yeah, you gotta wait for him to remember because he's 21 years of age. So he'll be 22 by this time next year. You got hope he then adapts to the league. There's an adaptation period. Like, is he gonna be the defender that everyone thinks he's gonna be? Not only that, Virgil's gonna be leaving soon, so he won't even have Virgil to help him. Like, I don't want us to be in that situation where we're so strong right now, and then within a year or two, a few things could really unravel what we have going on right now. And this situation is something that it needs to be dealt with immediately. Like, I know we're going to speak about the striker stuff in another video and whatnot, and there's other things that we can speak about. But I just feel like all the work we've done so far this season in terms of bringing in Frimpong, We're about to get Kirkes. We're about to announce Florian Wirtz, literally officially announce. It will be undone if say we sell Konate this season. So I know people are gonna say it might be being biased, but I genuinely feel like, and I said it before, and I'm going back on what I said. But I'm gonna say we keep Konate and we deal with next summer. Because I feel like there's no one there, in my opinion, that makes me feel comfortable enough that they can just slot in, pause, and just take over from Konate, and we're still Premier League champions in Champions League, and we can win the Champions League. I don't know whether you lot agree with that.
No, I agree.
That's my
Yeah,
final decision. I'm saying keep him and we just keep trying until the end. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I think we
Yeah.
have to. I think we have to. I still think we need to sign a centre back, regardless of Konate staying or going. But yeah, we definitely need to keep him. I'm going to do a video into centre backs as well, a deep dive into the centre back situation, because I think it's a situation that people have been sleeping on.
And we've been comfortable with Virgil for so long, innit? You don't
Too long.
to the point where it don't even matter. We're not really deep in like, Konate's been there, Matip's been there, Gomez has been there, Quantity's, but Virgil's the only one. Other than that one season when he was injured, he was the only one who's been there ever present, bro.
Yeah, and I also think now, because they've removed the, if I'm not mistaken, they've removed the bonuses from the contracts of Virgil and Salah. Appearances, I think you can now start to negotiate appearances with those guys. We need to protect them from themselves. Like, they're no spring chickens anymore. They may be in great, fantastic physical condition because of how they maintain their body and etc. But who's to say we can't go beyond 2 years if they're still showing signs of being fantastic? But the only way that happens, in my opinion, is if you don't run them into the ground. If you have a squad, you won't need to run them into the ground. And imagine how fresh and fit they'll be around end of April, May time, when it comes to the business end of the season, when we could be competing in multiple honours. That will be worth its weight in gold. So we need to bolster the squad. And I think the centre-back situation is one that people are overlooking at the moment.
Yeah.
Agree.
All right, we're gonna end it there. So, Drift, what was your final say? You said, are you agreeing as well? Keep Konate.
I think he signs anyway. So yeah.
You think he signs anyway, regardless. So okay. All right then, people. They have it. People, listen. Make sure you let us know what you think we should do regarding the Konate situation. Do we sell him? Do we keep him? If we do sell him, who should the replacement be? So let us know your thoughts in the comments, people. Make sure to do that. Make sure you subscribe to Team Kopish, all that good stuff, and make sure you like this video. People would really appreciate that. But people, listen, bless up. We'll be back for another video. Take care. God bless. Team Kopish throughout, people. Enough love.
Peace.